guys, welcome back, Blessed Be. I'm a little loopy right now. I just finished American Gods. It took me, what, the best part of 3 days to get through this whole book. This is a one that's 700 some chapters, yes, chapters, pages. And I can see why Loki, or Odin, sometimes I get those two mixed up. I think it was Loki being Odin, tricked me into this because, I'd read it halfway through, and I didn't particularly care for it, and then I read it this time, and it was like I just kept going, like, part of Saturday, all day Sunday, like the entire day of Sunday, and like most of today, I just spent reading the book, and I can't really say too much about this book without giving the entire thing away, and I think the lesson was partly, self-discipline, partly Loki will shove you through a door at times and make you go even though you don't want to. And partly I think he wanted me to see something about him and Odin, but I don't think I would see what anyone else would see. People either really love or really hate the book, and it's one of those books where it's really easy to miss the message because there's a lot about it you will hate. I'll admit that, there's a lot about it you will hate. But there is a message in there, and it's not a comfortable read if you actually work with the gods. If you're one of those thought for me, humans are the best, humans made the gods people, you'll take to it like a duck to water. If you actually work with the gods and see them as gods, you'll have a harder go of it. It was kind of confusing. If you do read it, it's not all that bad for gods. Not yet at any rate. I kind of liked a lot of it. In ways it's comforting, and in ways it's like you feel he never picked up on anything. He never, there's a part where he talks about, has a pagan character in there. And you're like, yeah, an actual pagan. Of course, she's like one of those people that just, she has this vague idea of the mother goddess in all of us, and that's as far as her, theology goes, if you want to call it theology. And of course Gaiman linked all pagans, heathens, and Wiccans together, and witches and everything. And I'm sure that's where a lot of people just threw this book at the wall and broke the spine, because he's saying they're all exactly like that. I'm like, really? You think we don't know who Istari is? Like, you think we don't know about Easter and all this other stuff? Now, of course, if you get into that, if you get into certain goddesses, you're going to have some people saying, she's a goddess, and other people saying, no, she's not a goddess, you're stupid. You're the kind of people that paganism, gives paganism a bad name, and then you'll have a fight. I don't want to have a fight with anyone. I believe this way. If someone believes in a goddess and they get results, I don't care if the goddess came to them through a 7-Up sign, and her sacred symbol is a 7-Up sign. She's obviously real. She came from somewhere, and she's helping them. That's how I look at it. That, people get in a fight with it. I'm like, don't kick it down anyone else's sandcastle just because you can't have it. That's cruel. I don't think he's going to do anything to destroy the religion with the book. The book's over a decade old now, and paganism is still here. And there are people that found Odin through American Gods. And I can see why he picked up a wife through it. It's kind of like our Odin, and it kind of isn't. It honestly depends on your personal relationship with him. I more or less saw our Loki in here, because Loki I deal with, he can be dangerous, he can be short-tempered. And if I won't learn a lesson, he'll just scruff me by the neck and force me to learn it. It actually gave me a terrifying nightmare this morning about, I was in this mall, and this mall it symbolizes something I as a human can't understand, but it's a place he owns. It's not a literal mall. Just calm down, it's not a literal mall. And I was there, and there were like Fox plushies everywhere, like this one, only bigger and somehow something. And I was looking at like a play place, and the Fox plush was there, and I sort of could go all around this mall and enjoy the pleasures of this mall, and yet I kind of was like a student, so I don't know if I was younger again or what I was, but I went into the store that my grandparents owned, and I've seen these two before, and I know they're gods or something. It's just Loki does so much sleight of hand when you work with him that you can like doubt everything you ever thought you knew. And they were talking to me, and I was telling them about all I accomplished, because I'd accomplished so much in this dream, and it's already getting away from me what I'd accomplished, but I'd done all these achievements, and I got this idea that my father was coming for me. And somehow stuff got crossed, because my father was one of those people, I could have won the Nobel Prize, and he'd be like, well, why didn't you win too? Okay. Yeah, I could have never pleased him, and like it was like this bad energy was coming for me. But then it was Loki in the dream, and he kind of looked like Dionysus sometimes does. He had like his sort of steel gray robe on, and he had the black curly hair, but you could tell it was Loki because he had the cat or fox eyes, and he had the long talon-like fingernails. And he looked the way he does sometimes, like he must have got hit in the face with a snake venom or burned or something. He looked quite a sight, and then like that was gone, and he looked pretty again. Not that they don't look pretty when he shows you a sacred face, but you know what I mean, traditionally pretty. And he came at me, and I thought he was going to hit me across the face, and I'm like, we're not having any of that. And I grabbed both of his hands, and I was like trying to bend the fingers back. And we were struggling, and he was absolutely enraged. And then somehow I fought him off in the dream, and I realized after the dream, dealing with a very grumpy and hostile Loki, that he was actually trying to protect me, and he was trying to teach me something. He was absolutely off the charts angry. I'm very lucky he doesn't usually kill people. But it's kind of like the book is, I think it's kind of part of the book, it's very easy to misinterpret what the gods are actually doing. I took it for an attack, and I couldn't believe Loki of all the gods was attacking me because I trust him implicitly. And he's good at finding that one loophole, that one flaw in your armor, and he found it, and he exploited it. And then he's like, I kind of did a visualization after I woke up. I'm like, we have to resolve this. So I did the visualization. We kind of resolved it. I don't think it's the same quality as resolving it in a dream, but it was the best I had. And he's like, I was protecting you. And you had no right to attack me like that. And I'm like, I thought you were, going to hit me. He's like, what? When have I ever hit you? When have I ever hit you? He's like really pissed off at this point. And I know it was partly symbolism because I was blocking his hands. I was like tying his hands by holding his hands. And it was also, these two serve him. They look very old worldly. The lady is plump and the gentleman's plump, and I always dress them as grandma and grandpa. They're like my grandparents, literally. And they're not my literal grandparents on either side, but they're my grandparents, okay? It just makes sense. And I said, it drives me nuts because this is the energy I always take for the Fae energy, for the, from coming from Celtic part of the world. And this is just the part of Loki that it's impossible to find. It's the underground part. It's like the parts we've discussed before like that. And it was just, he was showing me something, and I will have to keep sorting that out. It may take me weeks or months to get it all, but yeah. He was showing me something, and he was just so angry because he said, you're setting yourself up to, kind of to fail when you're trying to keep pleasing the Father. And he's like, well, when have I never been pleased with you? He can get angry and pissed off if he thinks I'm doing something that'll hurt myself, but in general, he's a God that loves and adores his people, and he's very proud of them. He's passionately furious. That's why he loses his temper with you when he thinks that you're putting yourself in harm's way. And I kind of realized he slowed me down with the book on purpose. I mean, I did the video yesterday for this channel, but I purposely walked away from the other channel and slowed down. And I think that was part of what he was saying. You need like to take some time off every week. You can't keep working every day. You're going crazy. And so I'm probably gonna start obeying that advice. It's easy to do for this channel because I just talk and talk and talk, and I'm good at that. But for the other channel, I usually have to read something or put plushies together or play a video game, and that's more involved. It takes more mental energy, and sometimes you do need the time off. You need to step away. So it was an experience. And then we were supposed to get a delivery of something yesterday from the Scentsy lady, and didn't come. And then I looked out today, and there it was. And I kind of knew that as soon as the book was done, there it would be. So he got his castle in, and he got some Scentsy stuff. And I don't know if I'll bother with an unboxing on that one. I'm just, he's right. I need the rest. I need to back off of trying to do so much. Take the rest of the day off, I think. Go get some treats. I'm surprised his other book didn't come in yet, but that'll probably be coming soon. But yeah, it's he used it to teach me. If it would have just been a book I picked up and just got the surface stuff and got kind of mad at it, I would have hated it. There's still a lot of stuff I hate in it. I think Shadow's wife is a bitch. I'm glad she's dead. Spoiler alert! But yeah, other than that, I liked it. If you're Lokean and you've read the book, you know why I hate his wife. You're like, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So yeah, it almost makes me want to read some of his other work, but kind of not, because he kind of hints that there's like another book coming in this book. I mean, it's been 11 years since he wrote the first book, so I don't know if he's at work on another book or what he's going to do. I don't know if I could go for that ride again, though, if it's going to be the same exact ride, him doing the same exact journey with Mr. Wednesday. And we all know who Mr. Wednesday is. And everyone he meets. I mean, it would be interesting in a way, but it's like, I don't know if I want to sign up for that ride again. So, if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.